Thank you so much for joining us this Sunday night for Ask Us Anything.
Can I tell you, we're fried.
Oh, you're fried. You did all the driving.
Oh, my goodness. We have covered, since our last Ask Us Anything, 1,807.3 miles. 1,807.3 miles. And we have had our baptism by fire with our new fifth wheel, towing a fifth wheel.
Oh, yeah.
And we made it. We survived.
We survived.
I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling it's going to be a good ball game, as the football players say. But that's the way to do it, all at once. We experienced
no idea how hard his first back end was. I mean, there was a 3-foot drop off, and if you went a few inches over, you were doomed. I did not direct him,
but I did,
because I know for the sake of our marriage, it wouldn't have been pretty.
Yep.
So I got somebody else to help it back in.
But that was my first back in, and it wasn't like an easy back in. It was
it was really pretty funny.
Yeah. I didn't. I mean, I knew I had to get the RV around and straight in, but I didn't realize that that when I jumped out of the truck, I jumped off the drop off.
I looked out and I thought, what is he doing? His legs and arms are flailing all over.
I mean, I took a step out and I said, whoa.
Yeah, he went down this hill, and
it's a cliff.
He didn't fall on his face. I was proud of you, because I probably would have fallen on my face.
Yeah, but the secret, man, you know what the secret is? The secret is act like nothing happened. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. So. But, oh my goodness, we had big city traffic. Detroit, Toledo. Yes, Toledo's a pretty rough city in the freeways, in the interstates. Dayton, Cincinnati, always
Louisville.
A mess. Louisville, massive construction, Nashville. Bad roads.
Nashville with 500,000 people in town.
Yes, the CMA Awards were there.
Yeah, we wanted to stay another couple of days. We wanted to stay in Nashville, but everything was booked.
And then when we got to Tennessee, the place that we spent most of last week on the Kentucky Lake there on the river, it was a beautiful, peaceful place. But to get there was 25 miles through back roads that were like one-lane roads with big holes in them. And you know how the tree lined by trees, no shoulder, shoulder. You know, it's all like ridges and hollows. Drop-offs. And the drop-offs are like 60 feet, you know.
Very pretty, though. Very pretty.
But we did it. So I feel really.
And how about with no GPS to help us?
Oh, yeah. It was so remote. Coming out yesterday, was it yesterday? Coming out, there was no cell phone signal. So I usually use CarPlay, Apple CarPlay. And many of you have said, get a dedicated GPS. I'm getting a dedicated GPS.
We drove up and down those ridges and hollers.
So, you know, it took the first directions you got, and it kind of figures it out on a map. But I wanted to change it because we wanted to go from there to our property that we're developing, our 5 acres. And anyway, you don't want to hear all the story. But I feel like a
lot of Tennessee.
We did. I feel like a real pro, though, in driving the fifth wheel. But from the peace and quiet, this place was where we stayed last week was so. Look at our video from yesterday, and you'll see how awesome it was. To last night in Louisville, the only place we could get in was the KOA in Louisville, jam packed. There were hundreds of kids.
It was such a happening.
Music, a movie theater, outside.
Dogs.
It was fun, actually.
It was
but watching how. What I really liked about that is seeing what a great family activity camping is.
Families everywhere, dogs and kids, and Bo ran for the border out the door.
Yeah, Bo escaped.
And you were trying to catch him, and you were the Pied Piper. Little kids were chasing you.
Yeah, it was an event.
It wasn't happening.
Little kids came and helped me catch Bo.
And the little boy.
Yeah.
Bo ran up on somebody's back porch where they were
eating. We caught Bo. Food. Somebody was eating on those little cabins at KOA.
Yeah.
And so Bo ran up there.
This little guy ran up there, grabbed Bo by the collar, and brought him back to you. So thank you, Jeremiah.
And we're probably boring you all with all this stuff. But it was a baptism under fire driving that fifth wheel. And again, I just cannot say how horrible Michigan roads are.
We ran into some
and we're about ready to release our Lower Peninsula Michigan book. And I just want to tell you, we want you to come to Michigan, because as soon as you get north of about here and start going north, the roads are fine. But the roads coming into the state, I-75, US 23, I-69, I-94, they are a mess. They're just a mess in the state. It's always like that. So, but you really feel it when you're pulling the fifth wheel. It keeps the
It's
secret.
kind of
is-
like horseback riding.
It's like horseback riding. And the roads were so bad that my dash cam would go off, recording this video. And they only do that when they think you've been in an accident. I filled up the whole disc, the whole card, the whole memory card with these saved videos where I think I had an accident.
You mean, do you think that the last governor of Michigan gave you an award for promoting Michigan
Up there,
tourism?
someplace up
You
there.
think this governor's going to come
right,
take it
right
away?
up there, over your head.
Yeah, he's got
Right
an
there.
award for promoting tourism in Michigan.
Where is it? Up right.
It's up there.
It's up over Jennifer's head. That's an award from the last governor of Michigan, but they're not going to do it in this one because
Nope.
I have. Okay, enough about
of that.
us. This is Ask
We're just
Us
wound up
Anything.
because we just got home.
Yeah, we literally just got in, and we're in our home. Our
We haven't
six
even
bricks.
unpacked all our stuff.
Yep. So thank you first to Shirley Benoit and Shirley's just been a great supporter of ours for all these years, and she gave us a $2.99 as she does every week super sticker. Thank you, Shirley. We appreciate that. And Shirley goes on to say that she's watching us in New Jersey and heading to Ohio soon. And she says, stay safe. A heat wave is coming next week. So
yeah, we here in Michigan, it's going to be what, 96 on Wednesday?
yeah, and it's warm. But anyway, we had a great trip.
We did.
1,800 plus miles.
You did a good job, boy.
Well, thank you. So did you. You didn't yell too much. It was really good, except when we kept hitting those bumps. All right, let's get to your question. Oh, let me tell you one other thing that we're doing. And one of the things that we did, we went and visited our property. We also met with our friends Mike and Kathy Dumont from the Commodore Hotel in Linden. And we are going to do, we think, we're pretty sure, a gathering there in mid-October. We're going to do the gathering on the Buffalo River. We'll announce the details hopefully this week. We're trying to negotiate a couple of things. It won't be as many people as we'd like. We'll have limited availability, but we're hoping to do that. And those of you who are our supporters on YouTube and our members on YouTube and our supporters on Facebook, you'll get kind of a couple of days advance notice of it, and then we'll open it up to everybody. But we went to a great winery there. There's so many things to see in that area. And we have fallen in love with that part of Tennessee. So we'll have more to talk about that. But just think about that if you are planning your fall trips. We'll know within the week, I think. Okay, question time. Let's see if we can get some of your comments and questions. One of our first ones, Linda Ward tonight. She's in Robbinsville, New Jersey.
Back home from the Great Northeast Travelers LTV rally in New Hampshire. It was
Wicked awesome.
Awesome.
Say
that with a
Boston accent.
We learned a lot and made friends. Oh, that sounds like a great event.
That's what's so much fun about rallies, Linda, is going from rig to rig. And our next gathering is the Elkhart Encounter. It's sold out. We got a waiting list, but you can still get on that list because there's always a couple of cancellations, and we're still finagling about spaces. Maybe we can get a couple more. That's coming up in less than a month now, I think, in about a
5
month.
weeks, I think.
July 18th in Elkhart. And one of the things that we always try to book at our gatherings is time for people to do what you did, is go rig to rig and see what other people did. So.
Yeah, that's what you need when you get a rig.
Glad you had a good time, Linda.
Mm-hmm.
From Joey F.
Have you ever had a tire off the ground using the equalizer system? First sight wasn't quite level, and the front left was off 3 inches off the ground. The automatic leveler came on every 15 minutes. Oh, that's enough to drive you crazy.
We've had that problem. One thing that you usually if you just move the RV a little bit, it doesn't take much, but often you can solve that
drive
problem
a little
there.
forward, you're saying?
Yeah, drive forward, drive back, drive a little bit over the left or right. But then put a number of blocks underneath the leveler. So what often happens is it goes as high as it can go and it can't find anything, and then the other one lowers, and then finally it pushes your wheels right off the ground. So if you put a couple of those leveling, they look like little Lego blocks, put those underneath the levelers. It gives them a little bit of help, and it usually can help get you there. But it is not good to have the wheels off the ground. We've gone back and forth.
It doesn't hurt the rig, but
Mercedes told us it didn't hurt the rig, and somebody from Equalizer says, "Oh, it's not going to hurt you." And then we've heard from some manufacturers that, well, it could damage the frame, And so, who do you believe? The people who make the sorry, better safe than sorry. So we don't think. I know on the fifth wheel, it's not a good thing. They tell you right off the bat, and the folks at Lippert who make the automatic, great auto leveling system that we have on our fifth wheel, they say, no, you don't want your wheels off the ground. So that's the advice we're sticking with.
We're even thinking of getting that little triangle.
I do. It's up on the porch. They delivered it while we were gone.
Okay.
A little tripod.
We haven't had time to bring it in.
The kingpin goes on that. Yeah. So not a good idea, Joy, but I have been there.
They say you can do it.
They say you can, but you try and not do it.
Carry around.
And the reason the leveler is making all that noise is it's trying to compensate, saying, "Hey, I'm too high. There's something wrong about this."
Drives you crazy.
You really want the wheels on the ground because they add a lot more stability to the RV when it's level. So. And
it's nerve-wracking when it goes on.
Try those extra leveling blocks. Linda Barcume.
Hello. From State Crescent State Park.
You know where that is?
Yes, up in the thumb.
Right there, there. And this is Michigan.
Good place Port Crescent,
be. Beautiful place. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we love that. It's a beautiful, one of our favorite state parks in Michigan. Mm-hmm. Ken Martin.
Hello from Gold Country, California. And enjoy your channel. We start full timing in October, hopefully.
Good luck. Get ready. I paid $6.08 for diesel today. $6.08 a gallon. And I got to tell you, we haven't, we bit the bullet, but it's crazy how much it costs for fuel. And $6.08. It cost us over $1,000 in fuel to go back and forth for these 1,800 miles. So
did we leave our fur baby outside?
I hear him barking up there someplace. He probably wants to come in because he knows
he does.
He's not on TV and he wants to be on TV.
I guess you're on your own for just a couple of minutes.
All right, you're gonna go get Bo?
I'm gonna go get the bow.
All right. Okay. So anything you want to know about Jennifer? Now's my chance.
Now's your chance.
Greg Myers, where is the Kentucky Lake Properties located? I can't find it. Well, you won't. I don't even know if they have a. I can drop you a pin. That's how we found it. Let me just tell you, it's about 25 miles south and east of Linden. In fact, exactly 25 miles south and east of Linden. And it's technically in a town called Clifton, Tennessee. But if you look on a map and you see Clifton, Tennessee, then look for the Tennessee River. Kentucky Lake is the Tennessee River. They call it Kentucky Lake because it is so big. It was the Tennessee River up in middle part of Tennessee that they dammed, and the resulting river expanded, and it is so huge. It runs 184 miles from the center part of Kentucky all the way down pretty much through the width of Tennessee. So they call it Kentucky Lake, but it's really the Tennessee River. And it's beautiful. It's really, we had such a peaceful week there last week. And that's a development that we did a story on YouTube. It's our current one. And everybody's asking, did you guys buy there? No, we didn't. We've got our property, which is only 25, 30 miles, not even that, 25, 28 miles away at the Woodlands. We did visit the Woodlands, and I wanted to make sure I could get my fifth wheel on there. I posted a picture on our RV Lifestyle Facebook group. We did drive it in, and I realized I got to take out a few more trees, and I need a little more maneuvering room to turn. And so we got it on there. Still no electricity, and not sure when that's going to be in. Hopefully this summer, but we had hoped that it's too warm there now to stay without air conditioning, and you want to run the AC, so you want electricity all night. Did you bring the bow in?
Yes.
There he is.
He's a little annoyed.
Why is he annoyed? Hello,
He
Bo.
was outside and he wanted to be in.
Oh, well, you got to move over. You're
He
off
doesn't-
the picture.
I'm out of the picture.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
okay. You were doing great without me.
No, they were starting to get mad. Chris Farrell.
Let's see. How do you think Pleasure Way compares to leisure travel vans with regards to quality? After reading horror stories from other brands, I want to make the best decision.
I got to fix this thing. This is crooked.
Pleasure Way, I believe, makes just Class Bs now.
Yes, they do. They used to make B pluses or Cs at larger Class Bs, but now they've gone to all Bs.
So if you want a Class B, Pleasure Way is just an excellent company.
They're a family-owned company, as is Leisure Travel Van. They're also based in Canada. Pleasureway is in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and Leisure
that
Travel
10
Van
times
is
fast.
in Winkler, Manitoba, and both are well known for their quality.
And Leisure Travel Van makes a C. Even though they call it a B+, it is a C.
It's the Unity and the Wonder. Those are Cs, and all of theirs are technically Class Cs. That's what they're insured as. Sometimes they'll market it as a B+. You'll hear that phrase, but it's a Class C.
It was a very tough decision for us when we were choosing between Pleasure Way and Leisure Travel Van.
And I want to just caution you on reading horror stories from other brands. Yes, there is a big quality issue in many RVs out there, but understand that there are a lot of people who do a lot of griping on the internet about things. You're only hearing one side of it, their side of it. That's not saying that they're not right, but just take those horror stories with a grain of salt, because most of these men, they don't want to make slipshod stuff because they're not going to sell them for return buyers.
And that's why you have done your best to make sure that people don't use what we have just to complain, because you do need the other side. Because we have heard stories, we know the manufacturer and they tried to please people and there was no pleasing them.
Oh,
They just
no.
wanted
And
to
these people
vent.
had an accident. We have our Facebook group is almost 108,000 members now. And our moderators are busy all the time with people who want to, they literally, we've heard there's people who go, I'm going to trash you on the RV Lifestyle Facebook group. They'll tell the manufacturer, unless you do this or this. So our rule is you can't just go on our site and complain about a manufacturer, because I don't know the manufacturer's side and I'm not going to be a judge or an arbitrator. So if you have a problem, deal with the
Go to them.
manufacturer. And I don't have any respect for people who just badmouth other products and services, because we don't hear their side, and they do have a side. You always know that. It's not saying there's not slipshod stuff going through there, but I don't want to be a police officer trying to or a judge trying to negotiate.
We want to help you find places to camp, tell you about good things to do and good places to eat and things to see. We want to do that.
Yep. Steve Egbert.
102 degrees here in South Central Valley of California. Did you leave the fifth wheel in Tennessee?
I wanted to, but I couldn't get my electricity in. And that means they still have to dig a trench in for when they run it up.
Yeah, they've got to do a bunch of heavy equipment work.
We're adding some erosion control, and we got to take some more trees down and maybe level up a couple. We got to make a little bit more room for me to maneuver that fifth wheel. So we hauled it back to Michigan. And
it was very hard. I mean, you wanted to leave it in the worst way.
Because then I could talk you into going down in a week or two again. But it's weird. This is the first time we've ever had to store an RV, and we have it at a storage facility.
It's a totally different experience having to go park it. I mean,
it wasn't bad though. It took 25 minutes to unhook it, and then to bring everything out and put it in the truck and then drive home.
And I had things well organized. So as did you, so that we could just load it up and get home, because I knew it was going to be crunch time.
We thought we'd be doing this from the road someplace,
we did.
but we left early this morning. So
Greg
Myers.
Let's see, camping at a Westcott State Park on the east shore of Lake Ontario.
Oh, you picked a great weekend. You got warm weather coming, and there's no place better, Greg, than being on
I bet it's
one of the Great Lakes shorelines. So
it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yep. hope you should have a great sunrise. I think you're not that far from us. We're in the same latitude up here in Michigan.
You're getting told how to
Lend a warranty.
Okay, you can download Google Maps before you head into an area with no cell coverage. Your GPS will still work and access the downloaded map
but the
to
problem,
give you directions.
But the problem is it's directions to where you set it. When you want to change your directions, change your destination, if you have no cell phone, you can't download that map. And that was what happened. We were headed one place. We said, oh, you know what? We got to be here. And that's I couldn't to get the
we changed it. And then
couldn't get it to change.
Then we saw a lot of Tennessee.
We saw a lot of Tennessee. Eric Miller.
Can you recap how you handle your freshwater tank when you fill up, etc.? We're getting ready for our first big trip.
Well, are you going to be in a campground? If you're in a campground, they have water. But as you're driving, you're going to want to have some water so that you can wash your hands, clean off your food, flush the toilet. So I always never fill it up more than a third or a half a tank of fresh water, because water weighs, what is it, 8.53 pounds per gallon, something like that. So you don't, save on that weight. And if you're going to be in a campground, they have water. So you can usually hook up to city water, or they have a freshwater, potable water that you can do when you get there. So
you don't want to take any more water than what you think you're going to need on the way to wherever you're going. If where you're going, they have water. And also with it being so hot outside, your water could get a little skunky.
Yes. So you want to keep that fresh water fresh. Doesn't that make sense? Mm-hmm. So I don't know any details of your first trip, Eric, but
first big trip.
Yeah, your first big. Now, if you're going to be all boondocking, then you want a full tank of water before you go boondocking. But I always try and find a place near where I'm boondocking where I can get water. Oftentimes it's a gas station. Make sure you always have a good filter that you can put on your hose, on your hose that you've used to fill up the fresh tank. Oftentimes a gas station will let you borrow some water. And then you want to fill it up as close as possible to where you're going to be boondocking. But if you're staying in campgrounds, maybe a third of it, how long is it going to take you to get to a campground where you're going to have water hookups? Maybe a third of a fresh tank. And then don't forget, if you're camping for 3-4 weeks and you've left that water in there, drain it and then tap it off again. Keep it fresh.
And with the gas prices of today, you don't want to take any extra weight.
Yeah. They'll give you a little better mileage. Have a great trip here, Eric. Wow.
Wow. 110 degrees here in Las Vegas, Nevada yesterday.
Yeah, but you're in the desert,
But you're used to it, right?
But it's not the heat. It's the humidity. So the heat's okay, right?
That's what they
it's
say.
Still really hot, isn't it? Yeah. Wow. Roy Boy 22100.
Just got back from Shipshewana. E-biked the Pumpkin Vine Trail. What a great place.
Shipshewana, Indiana. It's just some of our people, when we have our gathering next month, we'll be going over to Shipshewana. One of the biggest weekend flea markets anywhere in the East is there, from east of the Mississippi. It's an Amish town, great biking trail, lots of fun shopping and great food, great trade. Edith Das Essen House, just kind of an Amish resort cookery place. It's great.
Comfort food.
Rick Carroll.
We will heading down from the UP, I-75 and back to New Jersey. How is I-75?
Well, Rick, as soon as you hit
north of Detroit?
Yeah, as soon as you hit Oakland County in Detroit on I-75, from there to I think you're probably taking the Ohio Turnpike back east. From there till Toledo is just bumpy and messy, and just every expansion joint in the road is about that high up, and so your RV is going to go boom, 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 boom.
Now it depends on what they're driving.
And there's potholes, and it's just a mess. There's construction. So, but as soon as you hit the Ohio line, bam, it's fine. And that's the case. Same thing for those of you coming in from Indiana, I-69. It's fine as soon as you hit the Ohio line or the Indiana line. Just when you're in Michigan, those interstates leading into the state, they never fix them. They're always
Okay,
working
enough.
on them.
We've told it.
Anyway. Ann Pope.
Okay, for a newbie, what's the best way to find where to stop for a few days while making a long 12-hour trip with no time constraints?
I would suggest then that you do a little planning and you get something like RV Trip Wizard. I think for the money, it's the best RV trip planning service out there. You can find a link to them on our partners page, rvlifestyle.com/partners. Let's go to RV Lifestyle. You can see it. There's a link up there, and scroll down. But it's RV Trip Wizard. They just do a really nice job, and then you can find where to stay, where you're going to get fuel, and that's important. What to see along the way. It's a great program. So RV Trip Wizard it's called. Look for it on our partners link. Philip Brunham, you need to check out Hyvens Ferry State Park in Ridgeville, South Carolina. Plus our Blackwater is always showing full. How do I fix that? Well, the simplest way, thanks for the recommendation on the state park. When you buy an RV, let me start it way back. There's a thing called Sani Flush. And many RVs today now kind of come with something like that that's built into it, where you can hook up a hose and run water through it, and it shoots it into the Blackwater tank, and it kind of gets out. What happens is your
Toilet paper
and sometimes stuff will dry, solid waste will dry, and they cover up the sensors, and that's why that's RV is
usually
like that.
what happens when
Yep.
it shows that. But there
Yep.
could be such a thing as it's just malfunctioning.
It could be, but 95% of the time, it's
That's
just
not
you got something stuck on the sensor. So you want to get some water in there.
Why you always use RV toilet paper?
And it's also why you don't empty until it's full. Before you empty, fill up your Blackwater tank and then empty it. Water is your friend in that. You want as much water running through that as possible. So other people I know have gotten a wand, kind of not a high pressure wand, but a wand that they open the whatever you call that thing that opens up when you flush the toilet, and they kind of spray around down in that tank. Other people have gone and
We found out that ice cubes don't work.
yeah, our friend James from the Fit RV did a wonderful test that we were always told for years. Just take some ice cubes, take a bag of them, drop them down there, and drive around for an hour in warm weather, and it'll knock all that stuff out. James actually made an RV tank out of clear plastic, put some junk around it, and drove around with ice cubes, and he showed that didn't work. I've told that story before, and people say, well, it works for me. Well, then try it. So that's another thing. You can always try it.
Yeah.
See if that helps you out. Put a bag of ice cubes in and
go for a ride.
And give it time to melt, and you want it to kind of slosh around in there, and that'll clear it out. Good luck. Matthew Blau.
What size towable car can a Chrysler Town and a country tow?
You want to tow another car with a town and country car? Matthew, I have no idea.
Chrysler Town and country tow.
I have no idea. Chrysler Town and Country is a sedan, I think, isn't it? Or is that a minivan? I don't know. I have no idea, Matthew. Check your owner's manual or call your Chrysler dealer and ask them, but it's beyond me.
We can't help you.
Yeah. Bud Linhardy.
All right. Our fifth wheel got off level at a park, and it snapped one of the shackles on the leaf springs from Prescott Valley, Arizona.
And I bet it was it got off level, and I bet you had the wheels off the ground. Maybe I don't know what happened.
Wow.
But yeah, leveling is an art. Lazy Days, Tampa, Florida. That's a great RV dealership, and they have a great place to camp there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And when they sell, I think it's a Class A's, they do a driving school there too, which I really like.
Mm-hmm.
So, hi Charles, thanks for checking in from us. in with us, I should say. Let's see, Robert Ackerman.
I have a 40-foot Montana fifth wheel air conditioner. It's showing a 4 code. Can you run unit with no problems? It's a Dometic.
Oh gosh, it's
Owner's manual handy?
Yeah, owner's manual, or a call. Montana's made by Keystone, and they have customer service everywhere. There's a Montana Keystone users group on Facebook. Go join that, like right now, and then somebody will answer that in about 2 minutes. And then your other thing is to call Dometic. I would not run an air conditioner with the code. I don't know what. Did you Google 4 code Dometic? I don't know which size air conditioner you have, but I would call. I don't think you can reach customer service.
That sounds like a big Montana.
40 foot. Yeah. So those are 3 places you can check, Robert, and they'll answer you right away. But
only 1 air conditioning unit?
Yeah, if it's a 40 foot, you've got 2 air conditioners. So I don't know. Does the other one work? Go hang out while that one works. Phyllis Ray Globby.
Did you see any barges while camping last week on Kentucky Lake? Yes, we did.
Several times a day.
I love watching barges and ships. I know ships are the Great Lakes. Barges are not what you watch it there. But I like to watch them. I think it's fun.
Yeah. That's all part of the Great Loop. You can literally go anywhere, any port in the world, pretty much from, connects to the Great Lakes, to the Gulf of Mexico, and lots of boaters, but lots of barge traffic, and they're fun to watch them go. They're so long. It is fun. Greg Myers again.
If you ever get back to the North Country of New York State, we are a harvest location, Towpath Restaurant and Lodge.
All right.
You think we can ever get back there? I'd like to.
Yeah. I got to pay for all the fuel I just bought. Man, it's crazy. I feel so bad for the truckers that are having to pay that. I mean, it went from $5.69 a week ago today to $6.09 today. That's how.
And it's going no place but up.
I know. James Massey. Hey, James.
Y'all have fun in Elkhart, waiting for granddaughter to be born. Congratulations on that. So won't be there. 104 now in Texas. Best to you both, and best to you too.
So it's starting to finally warm up a little bit, and you probably still wear a jacket at night because you Texans are used to that hot weather. Hey, James, congratulations and good luck. So small, live large.
Scott here. What is your favorite way to listen to music at camp?
We don't.
We listen to the music of the birds and the frogs and the critters.
And the fish jumping.
Yeah.
And the wind and the pines. We don't go to listen to music unless, there's a entertainment or something. We went Friday night. We went to the Commodore Hotel in Linden and had some great music we listened to there. But
at our KOA.
Oh, yeah.
We're inside, just settling down.
About this time last night.
And there was this pounding noise. Boom, and boom, I'm boom. Like, what is wrong with the fifth wheel? And Bo's, he's having a fit. They were playing music.
Yeah, next is at the crowded
to come gather around to play on the kids' toys and wait for the evening movie to start. So as soon as we figured out what was going on, it was fine. We sat outside and listened to the music.
But we don't listen to music when we go camping.
We used to listen to music.
No,
I don't
we
know
didn't.
What happened a little bit.
Never.
You were a disc jockey.
I never listened to it at camping. No,
not
just
camping.
Our style. We go to listen to nature, and that's what we like, being away from it all. Karen Horton.
I am amazed at how much lead time we need to get ready for a trip.
Welcome to the RV lifestyle.
We typically have 3 to 4 trips. Weeks between trips, but it's always a scramble to pull everything together. That it is. Like leaving our fifth wheel, I brought all of our food home with us. I don't want to leave it in the fifth wheel because of the heat. It gets so hot in there. And remember that for your medicines. Don't leave medicines. And even I've got a COVID test I was carrying around with us, and the pharmacist said, well, that's not any good anymore. There's temperatures. Things have to stay in a certain temperature.
But
it is so much work.
What you're saying, Karen, is so true, because like we'll say, all right, we're leaving Wednesday. Let's get as much we can pack on Monday and Tuesday. And we never pack very much. and it's always right down to the last minute, and we always
You
forget
know what
two or
is the
three
last
things.
minute is emptying out the refrigerator. And I should do better at not having
At the
things that
Sticks
I
and
don't
Bricks.
need at the Sticks and Bricks
Yeah.
house because I have to tend to that food. I can't just leave it in there to go bad. So that always takes more time than what I'm planning on. And I like to set everything out. I have a big island and put everything there and kind of look at it. It helps me get a feel for what we're going to have.
And I drive her nuts because I see a bag there and I try to take it out.
Okay,
And
so,
I'm going to
yeah,
pack this away.
Here we are. We're going for this big long trip in the middle of nowhere where there's nothing close by.
Nothing.
And
Nothing.
I didn't open the drawer where I keep the cheese. I bought cheese to take on this trip because cheese and peanut butter are two staples for lunch.
Grilled cheese sandwich, peanut
And,
butter sandwich. You know, you can always have lunch.
I mean, you can have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with peanut butter and jelly. We have.
If we had some popcorn
We
with
have.
it, I'm good for the whole trip.
And I forgot both those things.
I
So we
know.
had to go into town one day so I could
Which
get,
was 22 miles one way
and
and then 22 miles back.
but I stayed and exercised for an hour. Oh wait, no, that was
the
one day.
second
That was the second day
Yeah, that
because
was
I
it.
started whining about the fact that I didn't get to exercise, and he was driving down every back road he could find with potholes, and
I have no
I was
comment
just
about
like,
that.
I was not having fun.
Robert Bardnark.
Oh well. Is it normal for my water heater to form condensation each time I turn off when moving to roll?
Where's the
For
condensation?
my
But
water heater to form condensation.
sure. You
each
know, it
time I roll?
depends on, you know,
mean
your
all
water
that
heater's,
that drips outside.
your water heater's
I
warm.
don't think AC.
The air is probably cooler. So there's
know
going to
where
be
you are.
condensation. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the AC, how it
He's not talking
forms
about
a
AC.
lake.
He's talking
We're talking
about
about
water
just-
heater.
huh.
But water heater's hot. You know, the air is a little bit cooler, so there's going to be some
I don't
condensation.
think that
So
seems normal.
I've never seen it. I've never experienced that,
trying
but
to figure where the water heater is because
it's
different.
outside on the
I know,
RV.
but you know where
And-
the puddle.
And so I think it's fine. And I'd look at it when you stop, you know, after a while, and make
I
sure
guess
everything
a
looks
good time
okay.
to call somebody.
I think it's pretty normal. I think it's pretty normal. Linda Fahy Neves?
Okay, my husband and I just bought a trailer. It's
I think she says tribal, but I bet she means travel.
I thought so too. Just bought a trailer. It's a 1978 Holiday
Wow.
Rambler. We don't know anything about camping. Believe everything works. I just need to find out how much water can I put in it right now.
You need to do a lot more than find out that if you don't know everything works.
44 years old.
A 44-year-old travel trailer, I wouldn't think that anything works. Linda.
Oh dear.
I would get somebody to come and inspect it and to tell you what you need to fix or replace. That's just stressing old parts too much. So if you don't know anything about camping, I guess you want to
everything
first find out
works.
whether your water tank leaks, but then you want to check the pipes, that get it to the spigot or the faucets or whatever you have in that. I don't know. I don't think you can. Maybe you can find a manual for it somewhere. But why don't you ask on some of the Facebook groups? Anybody else have one? We just bought a. How old is that?
It was 42.
42 years old.
Wherever you bought it.
She probably bought it from a private person, I would bet. So, find out everything, what works. It's not just the tank. You got to make sure all those pipes and the plumbing system.
Everything's not
works,
rusted out
check it out. Joy G. Anderson.
Do you use additional mirrors on your truck when towing the fifth wheel?
No, I don't. I love the mirrors, and they have a little switch where they'll go.
They'll extend.
And then you put them back in, or you can put another switch where you take it to the car wash and it goes and flip in.
It's double too. There's a mirror and then there's a mirror underneath, and it is amazing what you can see. I wish every vehicle had the double mirrors.
Me too. Yeah, no additional mirrors. It works great on my
The
F250.
only thing it is, it like Mike says, it extends out to help you see.
Pushes out. Really nice.
Mhm.
Great
Good
feature.
idea.
Lynette True Wilkie.
I run air all the time for my trailer, but it is in my yard. Florida will mildew and heat is terrible.
It will. Yes, it will. That's a problem about, being in those hot climates.
Hot,
Running
humid,
air all the time in your trailer, you're going to wear out those air conditioners.
but you need it. You
do
need a
it.
little bit of air conditioning. Keep that humidity down.
And mildew is something that you really need to keep control. You want to wash those walls off. Make sure at the first sign
We
of
don't want
that,
any
you
mildew.
clear it off. And heat is not your friend.
Terrible.
Yeah, and you want to get that humidity out. I know many people who store an RV will make sure they have electricity always in it, and they will run a dehumidifier or two all the time. That's, I think, even more important than the air, is to get that humidity out. So good luck, Lynette. Julie Pedersen Kinsgerski. Hope I'm saying that right.
Julie also prefers to hear the sounds of nature when they're camping, but almost always someone will turn on their music. Drives me crazy.
Some people like music. Some people find that music enhances nature.
The bad thing
other people
is,
don't. The problem is you're all next door to each other, so you got to be a little more tolerant.
And what you like in music, I might not like, and everybody has their own tastes for what's relaxing or enjoyable to them.
It's another reason we kind of picked out this property in Tennessee,
away from people.
So no noise, no music. And when I put the fifth wheel in yesterday, the thing I really loved about it is we really like these. We're going to have a walkthrough tour Saturday on our video of our new fifth wheel. We finally did the complete walkthrough. Get some popcorn. It's like a half hour long, but the windows on our property sweep out, and we have
our Arcadia have big windows.
And the Arcadias, they sweep out over the property, and I can't wait we'll run the air conditioner in the summer as soon as we get electricity. All right. We talked about a lot of products here tonight. That's our partners page where you can find out, for example, I think we mentioned RV Trip Wizard to plan your trips. They're one of our partners, and you can find it. A guide to camping, still hard. Campgrounds are crowded everywhere. We got the last spot at that KOA we stayed in last night. So free camping, boondocking, it's great. Check this out. This is one of our books on how to find great spots to camp that are free or very inexpensive. So check that link out as well. And then our favorite trip, this is a great time to take it. We were just on it yesterday a little bit. The Natchez Trace. If you haven't read that book, that was the book that we just released this spring. Our latest book we're finishing up right now, and that'll be on Lower Michigan. We've already got one on the Upper Peninsula, and Lower Michigan is coming out in just a few weeks here, a couple weeks. So, all right. I think we have just about finished most of the questions. We've got to go unpack, and then we've got to decompress because it's been...
And you got to get the newsletter done.
And I got to write the newsletter for all of you who subscribe to our newsletter. So with that said, you all have happy days. Check out the podcast coming out Wednesday. On Saturday, we're doing our video will be a complete walkthrough of our new fifth wheel, and you can see what we have, what we like, and how it all looks. And we thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Happy trails.